Long ago in Troy, there lived a young man named Ganymede, whose beauty and grace were famous throughout the kingdom. His golden hair shone in the sunlight, and his smooth, tan skin looked as if it had been bathed in gold, and of course, he possessed a unique charm, capable of enrapturing any human being. This was the youngest son of the 3 perfect sons of King Zeus, who gave his name to the city of Troy. The young man was so loved and appreciated by his father, that from the palace a group of escorts was ordered to watch over him day after day without rest, to make sure to keep him always safe from enemies. On the other hand, high on Mount Olympus, where the gods and goddesses reigned over the world, lived the great Zeus, the mighty lord of the heavens and thunder. He was an imposing god, with a muscular body and a white beard that reached down to his chest. His power was evident in the radiance of his eyes, which were like rays that illuminated everything around him, a perfect divinity whose ego was even bigger than himself, so he saw himself as having the right to do whatever he wanted without any consequences, and above all to take whatever he pleased in the same way. One day, while Ganymede was herding his animals on the mountainside, a bright light blinded him. When he rubbed his eyes and looked up, he saw the great Olympian god Zeus himself, who, upon seeing the man's beauty, gasped. His smooth, golden skin was bathed in sunlight, and his golden curls fell over his shoulders like waterfalls. The god of thunder felt extremely attracted by such a perfect being. He could not bear the desire to keep him close, so he planned the right way to take him with him to Mount Olympus. Thus, the god, blinded by the fervent desire to possess the beautiful boy, transformed himself into an enormous and imposing eagle that descended at full speed from the heights of the heavens, gently took Ganymede in its sharp claws, and immediately took flight towards the kingdom of all the gods. With cries of horror at such a situation, his caretakers tried to reach the boy. However, Zeus, turned into an eagle, was much faster, as he lifted the beautiful Trojan in seconds to Olympus, where he would live by his side and where he could enjoy the pleasure of possessing a boy as beautiful as he was young. Once on Olympus, the prince was amazed by the grandeur and beauty of the place. The mortal was absorbed by the majesty of the god, whose voice boomed like distant thunder. "I have heard of your beauty, Ganymede," said Zeus in his commanding voice. "You are the most beautiful being I have ever seen." The prince was confused by such words. He knew he was in the presence of the most powerful god in the universe, and although he was frightened, he was also deeply flattered. Zeus continued to speak, explaining to him that he, as a god, had many powers and privileges. "I can give you anything you desire," he said, extending his hand toward the one who would be his beloved. "If you join me on Olympus, I will make you my cupbearer, and you will never have to worry about anything in your life again." Ganymede was speechless at the god's offer. He could not believe that someone as humble as him could be invited to live among the gods in heaven. After so much insistence from the king of the gods, he finally accepted the offer and stayed on Mount Olympus, leaving behind his life as a shepherd. There he met other divinities, all of them beautiful and powerful. His main task was to serve Zeus, who became his faithful friend and mentor by teaching him everything he needed to know about the universe and telling him about his battles and adventures against the Titans and other gods. Over time, Zeus and Ganymede became very close, and their friendship soon grew deeper. Although the king of Olympus was a powerful god, he could not resist the beauty of the young Trojan, so he gradually fell much more in love with him, and to appease his desire, he made him his lover. And apparently, his beauty not only amazed the king, but also impressed all the gods. They even gave him the honor of becoming their cupbearer, replacing Hebe, who was the Greek goddess of eternal youth, and the one in charge of serving ambrosia, the drink of the gods, before Ganymede arrived. Thus, time passed, and while he became Zeus' favorite lover, he lived in a huge palace, as beautiful as only Olympus could provide, covered with marble, gold, and all kinds of comforts to give free rein to the passionate encounters that both maintained night after night. For the father of all gods, the youthful skin, soft and smooth as porcelain of his beloved Ganymede, was an addiction from which he did not want to get away for a single moment, and for the boy, the god was also attractive for his muscular, strong and imposing body, and above all, he was delighted with all the knowledge and new experiences that he offered him. Despite being on Olympus surrounded by all the gods and goddesses, the divine cupbearer missed his family and his life as a shepherd, so his beloved allowed him to visit her once a year so that he could be reunited with his parents and brothers. And above all, he could enjoy the freshness of the mountain air and the sound of the flocks of sheep that he missed so much. Nevertheless, the god was always eagerly waiting for him to return to serve him on Olympus. Although apparently, all the divinities shared the same fascination for the beauty of the Trojan prince, Hera, Zeus' wife, began to feel jealous, as she did with all her husband's mistresses, which caused her even more anger against the Trojans, for having begotten a creature capable of taking away all reason and sense from her husband. In the same way, King Thros wept disconsolately every night for the loss of his beloved son. Such were the lamentations that the god decided to take pity on the man, and had his son Hermes bring him the message that the young Trojan was safe among the gods and that in gratitude for being rid of him, he would give him a pair of divine horses capable of walking on water. The Trojan gladly accepted them, and was encouraged to know that his beloved son would live forever with the gods on Olympus. Moreover, Zeus' great love for Ganymede made him decide to grant him immortality, making him the sign of the constellation Aquarius in the night sky, where his beauty and love for the god would always shine brightly.